Well, hello and welcome back to the Delphian webinars. Reminder, I'm Thomas Keough. If you're tuning in today, I think you have hopefully heard my earlier webinars on character education having to do with the subject of the ethics. The ethics book is one of the many things that we teach here at the Delphian School. And this book, of course, is available at Heron, which does our curriculum. So today we're going to do one final segment. I'm going to quickly review just the last piece we did last week. Just the last few pages, and then we're going to lead into the final segment, which has to do with responsibility, truth, and kind of just the right viewpoint about how to live your life, the best way to live your life. And then I do have two homework assignments for you. We can't really do them in the webinar. What doesn't quite work because you have to go out and do some exciting things in your own life and help a friend. But I'm hoping that we'll have time. You can answer questions you have about the assignment. And then you can also email me the work that you did at our email site, events@delphian.org. Okay, so just a reminder, I'm Thomas Keough. I've been working at the school for 20 plus years, used to teach for 15 years, travel the world now to introduce the school to students and to families. But I have the pleasure of doing this webinar with you today. So enough said, let's get started. We're going to, as a reminder, by the way, for all the participants, I'm sure you know this, but put all your essay assignments, all your work into the question and answer section and not into the actual chat room, okay? And I'll get to you in just a minute. First, we're just going to review the little introduction here. So I want to review just this one section on responsibility, which we learned about last time. So when you take responsibility for an overt, that means first of all, you admit causing it. The cup falls. First, you admit it to yourself, so recognition that you did it. Then you admit it to other people who should know about it. In this case, he tells his mother. This will help you to stop worrying about what you did. You don't need to find justifiers for it, or motivators, or have withholds and miss withholds. Things get a lot simpler. So if you just face it right away, remember all the things we've learned about in earlier webinars. You don't need justifiers to make less of it, or motivators to give you a reason why you did it, or a made-up reason why you did it, or have withholds. And a withhold is when you don't reveal what you did. You keep it kind of a secret. And the withhold is when you believe somebody might have found out about what you did, but you're not quite sure, and they actually may not have seen. So things get a lot simpler. When you are withholding an overt, it can seem huge. You may feel like admitting it will make someone else think badly of you. You may feel like it is just too terrible to be responsible for. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? But once you admit an overt, you will be surprised how much smaller it suddenly is. He's just telling his mom, no big deal. You can feel a lot better about it. Okay, good. So now we're going to move into some new material. That was just a review on responsibility. So this new material has to do with truth. Now, follow me closely because this is going to be a unique definition of truth that enables you to get honest about things. The truth is what is. The truth is what is. The truth means the exact time, place, form, and event. And we're going to go through each of those right now very briefly. Time is a precise instant, the point at which something has happened. So for example, it's 11:20, and at 11:20 today, I just read you this page from the ethics book. Place is a definite location. For example, here we are in our webinar room at the Delphian School in Sheridan, Oregon. The room you're studying in can be a location. The grocery store, when you go, can be a location. Form. Form is the arrangement of things. It is the way in which parts of a whole are organized. So you can see the form that I'm sitting in this chair in front of a table, and I have the ethics book on display in front of me. And on my table, I have a pen, as well as we've used them before, the demonstration kit. So that could be the form, how all these things here are organized. Event is that which happens, the result. So for example, here's a form, they're in these pieces, but if I tip this, they all spill out, and that creates a mess. So that's the event. Because I tipped this, the pieces fell out and made a mess. Or you could say The form is I had the pin up here and then I dropped it. Well, the event was I let go and I dropped the pin. No damage here, but if that were something that could break, yikes. When you tell the truth about an overt or withhold, you should, 1, tell what was done, the exact overt of commission or omission. 2, then tell all about it, including time, place, form, and event. Now, don't worry, we're not going to get you to tell me all your overts and withholds today. We don't really have time, and that's kind of private for you. But I do have an assignment that's going to give you a little bit of an application on telling the truth. So the first step is 1, tell what was done. For example, I spilled these pieces out of their container. Okay, these pieces spilled and fell on the desk. Then tell all about it, including time. Well, it occurred at 11:21 or 22 a.m. on Monday, the blah date. Place. It happened in the seminar room where we're doing webinars, right on the table. Form. The table I was holding the demo kit piece up high. There was a pin on the desk and the ethics book was here and I was sitting just in front of the table. An event, because I tilted the bowl, the pieces all fell down on the table and made a mess. Okay, so that takes us to 141. Let's see here. So once you have taken responsibility for overage, you can fix whatever damage you did. And when you have done that, you don't need to worry about those overages anymore. All right, so now let's come to your first assignment and then I'll go into the question and answer. So we've been using the Heron check sheet. If you have the learning guide, we're on page 5 and we're going to be doing step 8 with a little bit of a slightly different version, not the whole thing. So the drill here is think of something good that you have recently done. So not necessarily an overt. I don't want to hear your overages today. Just think of something good you have recently done. And either by an essay on the question and answer, or if you want to demonstrate it, if you want to use the demo kit, you can do that. I want you to write down the truth about it. Be sure to include all the parts of the truth as described on page 140. So if you want to take something good you did and you're at home and you have your mother or father or someone older with you and you want to demonstrate to them using the kit, truth. So what occurred and then time, place, form, event. You can do that. Or you can give me a little essay in the question and answer that basically says, write down the truth about this good thing you did. Be sure to include all the parts of the truth as described on page 140, which is time, place, form, and event. All right, so I'm going to go to the question and answer period here and say hello to some folks, and then also start to receive your assignments. Good day, Sophie. Nice to have you here. Let me put on my glasses because, of course, it's a little bit easier. Hello, Lorna. Thank you for joining us. And Hadai, welcome, welcome. And Nalia, thank you for joining. And Anjali, pleasure to see you back, huh? What is an overt? You know, hello, Noah, by the way. Let's see. An overt is something that you do that does not help your survival. You know, Holly, if you're coming in here beautifully to join us now, we discussed this several webinars ago, but an overt is something you do that causes some harm. You know, if you don't feed the dog, that's something you didn't do that causes some harm. Or if you stole $1 off of your mother's dresser and she didn't know about it. Or if you bullied somebody at school, that would be an overt. It's something that you do that harms maybe yourself, your friends, your family, etc. There's more to it, but we're not going to take up the time to define it here. So now here come some questions. Olivia, you say, what if you are unable to fix or clean what you did? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I think you mean if you did something harmful and then it was really hard to take full responsibility for it. It all depends. And my best answer to you is to be truthful about it, to get honest about it, and to work with your parents or whomever you harmed to see if you can make up the damage for what was done. Okay, here's Hadai said, I helped Amanda cross the street. Okay, good. But now what we want to do is we want to get into the truth. So you want to go now time, place, form, event. So very good, Hadai, for saying that. But now, when was that? Where were you? What was the arrangement of things? And then what was the result? Elijah, I did my chores. Time, 6 a.m. Wow, you're up early like me. That's beautiful, Elijah. Place, my house. Form, feeding the animals, etc. Okay, good, except for etc. wouldn't be so good because etc. doesn't tell me anything. So the form, I got out the dog food. The dog and the dog bowl were sitting near me in the kitchen. I poured the food into the dog bowl and put a little bit of water in there to make it moist for the dog and called him over so he would eat it. And then event, the dog ate his food and he was healthy and no longer hungry. In this case, you put the event, Elijah, I fed the animals hay. Okay, but that just wouldn't match up to the description that you were giving there. Sophie, I finished my check sheet. It was 2 at my house. I did the last drill, which was an essay and. Okay, that's a good start, but we want time, place, form, and event. Let's remember that, right? Time, place, form, and event. This is a little bit more high level, and it's going to force you to really think about it, right? So here is Angela. Okay, he said, I got in front of a kid, an older kid kept hitting me. Okay, so again, I don't really want to hear your overs here because I don't want to share them publicly with all the other people in our webinar. But what I want you to do is think of something good you did. Like I helped the old man to cross the street. Time, it was 10:30 a.m. in the morning. Place, it was on the street where my house is called Chestnut, and we were at the corner of where the light is. Form, the old man needed some help because he was weak. I walked up to him, I offered my hand, and I said, can I take you across the street? There were cars around me, but they all stopped. Event, the old man made it across the street successfully and safely and thanked me when I was done. Okay, so here we need some more examples, guys. Here is Sophie saying I was sitting at the table at my house. Okay, but what's the good deed? I did my homework. Did you do your homework, Sophie? And then what's the time, place, form, and event here? All right, so I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes to get your head around this and then to give me the truth about what you did good in the last day or two or the last week. So you want to give me a statement of what you did and then details for the truth of time, place, form, and event. I know it's not easy, and this is the summary of our class. So new people, it's going to be a little bit tougher, and older guys, you're going to really have to put your head together. All right, so while I'm waiting for you, I'm going to write down the things we did today. And I'm not going to write out the drill we're doing now, but we're almost ready to continue once you guys give me some more examples. Matthias says, place, my house. Event, I gave my mom a gift. Time, 10 a.m., form, giving gift. Okay, not bad at all, Matthias. You would want to state, first of all, the first part is just, I gave my mom a present. And then the place was your house. Maybe it was in the living room. The time was 10 a.m. The form, we were in the living room where the couch was there. My mom came in and I handed her the gift and she unwrapped it on the table. And then the event is, well, she smiled. She loved the gift as she unwrapped it and she gave me a big hug. So this is the result. What occurred as a result of the form and the activity, and then what occurred as a result. Okay, so let's see. I'm so sorry, Angela. We are talking about truth, time, place, form, and event, and giving forward truth. Time says, I helped my mom clean the bathroom. Excellent. So now we need time, the time, place, form, and event for that to give it 100% truth. Stating I helped my mom clean the bathroom is very good, but if you were going to give up and over it and get totally honest about something, if I just said I stole money from my friend, not bad, but it doesn't really say when was it, where was it, what are some details about the form of what was going on, and how much money did I steal, and then what occurred. I spent that money on something I shouldn't. My friend didn't have money. Later, my friend asked to borrow money, and I didn't know what to do. You get the idea? So there can be more to truth. Here's time. I helped my mom save a baby bunny at my house. It was between 1 or 2, and I got a carrot. Okay, better time, better. So there's the activity. It was at your house. There's the time. Doesn't really say the form. You know, were you outside? Did you get a cage? You want to describe just a little bit how things were put together. Here's Milo says, I did all my schoolwork. Sorry, just checking the time. It was 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at my house. I did my schoolwork and I was doing it successfully. Excellent. Very good. Very nice. Very good description, Milo. And this is time said I helped my mom to clean the bathroom. It was 4 p.m. Okay, time, you're getting more details on that. Very good. Angela, I helped my mom save a bunny in my house. It was between 1 and 2. That one, we already did that one. Sorry. Okay, I think we did that 2 time. Excellent, excellent. Angela, I got you where it was. Perfect. Jacob says, I told the truth. All right. 4 p.m. It was my parents asked me a question, and of the event, she thanked me for telling her about it, and the place was at my house. Okay, excellent. Very, very good. Very nice. Okay, we're going to do a couple more here. Angela says, outside in the well. Okay, I got where it was. Okay, good. So these examples are still probably going to come in, and we'll catch up with them in just a little bit. We do have time to get today because we're just going to read a couple more things. Then we're going to do one assignment, and then I'm going to go over with you your homework, which is kind of big. It's really going to make sense for those that have done this whole webinar series from the beginning on ethics, and I'm hoping for those of you that knew that you'll figure it out. Okay, this is Sophie. One more example here. I did chin-ups. It was 5:30 p.m. It was on my chin-up bar in the bedroom next to the bathroom. I did 10 with my mom in the living room. Excellent, Sophie. Excellent. You got it. You did it very well there. And Angela says, I saved a lizard that was between 1 and 2 p.m. Okay, excellent on what you did in the general time. Now we would also need the other 3 parts for truth. Okay, so I'm going to move out here, guys, and I'm going to come back to the share screen. By the way, nice to see everybody here today. Looks like we have about 28, 30 people coming. All right, so here we go. We're going to sign off. I'm signing off the check sheet as I go. Guys, I don't know if you have the check sheet, but I'm signing off as I go along. All right, so we're going to read pages 143 through 149, and then I'm going to define a couple of things for you. So you decide. When you are responsible, life can be a lot more fun for you and the people around you. You can get along well with others. There they are playing, looks like volleyball together or basketball. You can do things more easily. Yeah, that would be nice to be able to just toss it in the basket like that every time. You can see things better. So here he is. You can see who's open and can make the pass. You can succeed. Okay, so now I want to define just 2 words for you that they're going to be used in the next section. The first one is attain. We've all heard the word attain before, and basically it just means to succeed at achieving something that you intended to do. So if you intend to do something and you succeed at it, you have attained that. The other one is clean. The word clean is going to be used here in a special way, like clean hands or clean heart. And essentially that means pure or innocent, where you're doing something that's correct and honest. Okay, so to have a pure and innocent, or to do something correct and honest. So remember, ethics is something that you do for yourself. Okay, it's a personal decision. How am I going to act? How am I going to react with the different parts of my life? We learned about this a little bit earlier in the webinars. You decide whether to have your ethics in or your ethics out. And remember, ethics in means that you're making decisions that benefit you, your family, your groups, mankind, other life forms like your pets or plants, the physical world that we're around, not breaking things or smashing things, the broader world of just the kind of spiritual world and art and beauty, as well as the last piece, which is a little bit tougher, the infinity concept, or the idea of God, doing something that has a little bit of a higher level survival element to it. So most importantly, though, is you, your family, your groups, mankind, the animals and life forms, and the physical world around you. So you decide whether you have your ethics in or your ethics out. If you're not making good decisions, your ethics are out. So here he is, alarm goes off, and he's, I think, going to wake up. You decide whether or not to use your reason. This is an example from earlier in the book where the guy's going to come at him, and I think earlier the bad example is he punches him. In this case, he does not, and he thinks about, what is my action going to be? You decide whether to be honest or dishonest. The money drops. Should I pick it up and keep it, or should I pick it up and let him know that he dropped his money? You decide whether to be responsible or not be responsible. And here is the little girl giving something to her father or big brother. Happiness is only attained by those who are honest with themselves and others. I love this part. Beautiful, beautiful part. A clean heart, now remember clean means pure, innocent, honest, proper. A clean heart and clean hands are the only way to achieve happiness and survival. Such a beautiful, simple, true statement. I'm going to say it again because it's so true and so nice. So a clean heart, honest, proper, true. A clean heart and clean hands. So you're not, what do I mean by clean heart, right? You can feel it in your heart, but clean hands. Okay, so I'm not doing things like breaking things or hitting people or stealing things. Or if I did, I get honest about it, and then my heart is clean, and then I don't do it again, and my hands are clean. So a clean heart and clean hands are the only way to achieve happiness and survival. There's the coach and the players all getting along. Happy guy? Okay, let me just look. We have one more page. Have a great life. Wow, that's a big statement and a beautiful statement. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. I'm sure we've got more question and answer and examples coming in. So now I'm going to give you an assignment here. And it's basically a combined essay that I want you to put into the question and answer. And it's basically discuss how happiness is only attained by those who are honest with themselves and others. So explain that to me, or how is that true? And how a clean heart and clean hands are the only way to achieve happiness and survival. So what's the relationship here? If I want happiness, well, that has to do with honesty with myself and others. And the relationship here that a clean heart and clean hands are the only way to achieve happiness and survival. So you can discuss that with me in the question and answer period. I'm going to catch up here because we have lots more great examples. And we've got time here, so we're going to move through the examples, and we're going to move through this essay assignment, and then I'm going to talk to you about an assignment that I want you to do at home that's going to take some work. All right, here come my glasses, guys. Thank you. When you get my age, you might need these things. So Hadai says, I helped my mom at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. I cleaned my room by putting things away. My mother was pleased. Very, very good. Here is Amber. One of my cats was carrying a baby bunny. I got my cat to drop it, and he dropped the bunny out of his mouth. Excellent. Now that's good, but it doesn't really tell me the time or the place. I get the form and the event a little bit. So remember, truth is, what did you do? I picked up the pin. Then you have time. I picked it up at 11:38 p.m. or a.m. The place was in the webinar room. The form, the pin was on the table, and I put my hand down and raised it up 1 foot. An event, the pin moved up into the air, and I could write with it. Okay? Now, it doesn't seem so important when you're talking about a good action, but when you're talking about truth and getting honest, then it's good to do that. All right, so moving forward here. Milo, you seem to be accidentally putting in 1 0 or 1 letter at a time. Just creating a little bit of space for me, not needed. So maybe you could stop doing that so I can just continue the seminar. Thank you. All right, so Sophie, if you tell people when you do an over, or you just don't do one, you will have peace and be able to communicate freely and kindly. That is really, really true. Really, really true. All right, Isaiah says, or Anjali, sorry. Who is Isaiah? That's right. I washed all the dishes in the sink. I did the dishes at 1 to 2 p.m. Excellent, excellent. So then we still need, that was the time. The place, good. You said the sink, not bad. You could say it was in the kitchen of my house at the sink. The form, how were the dishes? How many? Did you have, soapy water? Did you run water and soap over them? How did it all come together? And then event is, like you said, they were all clean. All right, so Hadai says, if you are true to self and others, you won't have to hide it or be worried about it. You always make the right decision. Be honest and have your ethics in. Excellent. I love that example, by the way. Matthias, the way it's true is that if you lie, you'll have guilt and you'll never be fully happy. And if you never lie, or if you lie and tell the truth to someone, then your hands will be clean and you'll lose the guilt. This is very, very true. That's a great statement, Matthias. All right, keep your examples coming in because I love these. This is kind of our summary, guys. This is actually the last chance for you to communicate to me. So if you've been in the webinar from the start, this is a chance for you to summarize your thoughts, maybe your realizations, the choices you're making about how to use the information that we've studied in ethics for the last couple of weeks. So this is, happiness is only attained by those who are honest with themselves and others. And a clean heart and clean hands are the only way to achieve happiness and survival. So discussing that with me. How is that true and what did you learn? Ethan, this is true because if you're doing things that are helpful, then you won't have withholds or miss withholds and you won't feel guilty. So, so true. Anjali says an example, I told my mom that I took chocolate at maybe 12:30 in her room and my mom was watching TV. Okay, that makes sense. That's got a degree of truth. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna take some time here because we have plenty of time, or 15 minutes. So I want to see your examples, more of your examples coming in now, if you will, that answer the question of those two essay things together, okay? So go ahead and submit those, and I will look forward to reading them with the group, and I'll give you a couple more minutes to do it. Sophie says, I really love this because it shows how happiness is so easy to attain. You just have to have a clean heart and clean hands. Oh, that's beautiful. It's so true, you know, it's so, so true. And, you know, the important thing is to realize this and then to work hard with your own actions and with your own decisions to live by it. And, well, when you do, trust me, it's very meaningful and life can go better. And honestly, when you don't, whether it's for a day or a week or a month, yikes, life doesn't go so good and you have to work upwards. If it doesn't go well for a little bit, then you have to fight back and work upwards to get honest, to get clean, to make your heart feel better. And then you feel better about who you are. All right, so I'm still waiting for a few more examples to come through. Let me go ahead and sign off that we did that. I'm going to sign off that I gave you those assignments. Now we're coming to the end. All right, so we may end up early here today unless we get a few more cool summaries and essays that come in here. Here comes Angela. I said, to be honest and tell the truth, you'll feel better. You'll feel better and you'll feel brighter, like you are the very best teacher ever. Oh, I think you're saying thank you. You like me because I'm a good teacher. You're very welcome. I appreciate the acknowledgement, Angela. Of course, if you're a good teacher too, then others will learn from what you do by example, and you'll help them. But also, if I'm honest and I have a clean hands and clean heart, then I will be a better teacher and a better person in life. Okay, that's a good example, Jacob. It said, because one time you lied and you felt a little bit of guilt. I know what you mean. And lies can be very extreme, or they can be that I told 75% of the truth. I wasn't totally honest about it, and I didn't quite give the whole truth. And that can be a little bit of a small lie, which is never so good. Never, never so good. All right, so your examples are going to come in here. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, so if we end up early, I apologize, but we're finished here. So if you do not have this learning guide, you may not have this learning guide. If you don't, I need you to have your pin out, and I'm going to describe to you two assignments. Now, this is really the important practical application project that you're going to do from everything we've learned over the last couple of weeks. So those of you that have been with me from the beginning, I hope you do these two assignments and that you learn and grow from them. So the application is, think of some situation in your life in which you know your ethics are out. So somewhere where you have made the wrong decisions or where you've been doing some things that aren't quite right, where you would like to get your ethics in. You could review the agreements with your school. What are the agreements of school? How are you supposed to treat kids? What about homework, attending class? What are you supposed to eat there? You could review the agreements that you have with your parents at home, your chores, certain things you're supposed to clean, if you're supposed to help them with certain things, or how you're supposed to take care of your sister. It could be things, just ethics and the agreements of the group. Maybe there's something going on where you were taking a little bit of money where you didn't need to. I'm not saying you did, and I'm not saying I ever did that when I was younger, but could be something more extreme like that. or something that happened with your friends that you're really not happy about. So what you want to do, and I'm going to put my glasses back on for this, go over these codes, help you with your ideas. Use what you've learned in this course to get your ethics in. Use what you've learned in this course to get your ethics in. So what could that mean? That could mean writing down the things you did that were wrong, the event, the activity, and then the time, place, form, and event, and giving them to your parents. It could mean sitting down with your parents or your teacher or your friend and getting honest about what you did and then making a decision to change the way for the future. So use what you've learned in this course to get your ethics in. Write down what you did and the results. Write down what you did and the results. So what we're looking for is you demonstrating that you can use what you've learned and you can get your ethics in or improve your survival for more happiness, come to a point of cleaner hands, cleaner heart, and have a better life like you've talked about, okay? So that's your first homework assignment to do on your own because you can't really do it right now if you do it meaningfully, okay? So situation in your life where your ethics are not in, where they're out, and where you would like to get them in and how you'd like to change them. Figure out what that is. That could be something at school, home, etc., but it has to do with you. Okay, here comes the second assignment that you're going to do. Discover or think of a situation where someone else, this is not you, this is your friend, this is somebody at school, this could be somebody in the house, could be your mom or dad, but I bet that's a little bit tough, so most likely it could be a brother or a sister. Think of a situation where someone else has his ethics out and it's affecting you. Talk to him about it. Get him to get his ethics in by using what you have learned in this course. So this is tougher because this is you educating somebody else. Now, maybe that person knows a little bit about ethics, so you won't have to educate them and it'll be easier. But if they don't, you're going to have to teach them a little bit about truth, a little bit about responsibility, a little bit about maybe the dynamics. Talk to them about what they're doing and help them see that that's not very smart, not very honest, and it would be good to live their life with cleaner hands and a cleaner heart. So this is the situation where someone else has his ethics out and it's affecting you. Talk to him about it. Get him to get his ethics in from what you've learned in this course. Write down what you did and the results. So those are your two assignments. If you have questions about what I just said, you can put them into the question and answer period. And we've got 10 minutes here, so we're going to go through everybody else's submissions here. So Hadai, you're very welcome. Thank you for attending and thank you for your input. You're very, very welcome. My pleasure to be doing this. Same to you, Anjali. I'm getting some thank yous. Oh, happy Easter to you. I hope you had a great time with your family, maybe a little Easter egg hunt. I had a busy day at my house, went on a walk, went out to well, not really out, got a to-go burger with my son because I couldn't, of course, eat it in the store itself. Okay, Anjali, I got what you said. I'm a little over. Milo says, like writing up your overts and withholds. Yes, you got it exactly. Yes, you feel free when you get it over off, says Anjali. Yes, it's very, very true. And someone here says you could write up your overts and withholds, and that would get you to have a clean hands and clean heart. That's exactly right. Elijah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Happy Easter to you, Milo. Very nice to have you join. And thank you. There's someone here that says, very nice. I don't have your name, but you bet it. So someone says that if I wanted to follow Isaiah, which is my brother, if he made a bad decision and I would not choose so, I wouldn't follow him. That would be very good. Thank you for the fun webinar. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you, guys. Jacob, Olivia, you're very, very welcome. Pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining because, you know, it wouldn't be a webinar without you. I'm here to help you learn some things, but if you weren't there to receive that knowledge and do something with it, then there's really, it's no fun for me. And I don't get I don't get my own reward, which is your knowledge and you're using this information successfully. Great, Olivia. I'm happy that it was great. Okay, Ethan, nice job on getting some things from Easter. Very, very good. So now we've got a couple more minutes. So if anybody else wants to discuss the final assignment, which we did the essay on happiness is attained by those who are honest with themselves and how that relates to having a clean heart and clean hands. Or if you want to ask me any questions about how to do these final two assignments, which are going to be your homework. Now, We haven't had a lot of people turn in their homework, and that's okay because you're not going to get a lower grade from me if you don't. I can't give you a lower grade. However, I love getting your assignments. So if you can do it, and you can send it in to me at Thomas Keough, but at the email address of events@delphian.org. So this final assignment where you do something to get your own ethics in and write up what you did and the results, and you help another to get their ethics in and write up what you did and the results, send it to my attention, Thomas, at events@delphian.org, events@delphian.org, okay? And just a reminder before I forget that Becca is going to be doing the art history class at 1:30 p.m. today as well. So let's see if I have any other assignments. We're wrapping up here. You're very welcome, Anjali. Very welcome, Anjali. My pleasure. Thank you, Jacob, on the happy Easter. Today is Monday after Easter. Very, very nice. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to give you another minute to just do any final thank yous or final thoughts. And if you have any questions on my final assignment, just let me know, okay? So I'll be patient. I'm going to take a little sip of water while I wait for you. Nice to get water. Water is a good thing to drink, by the way. It's very good for your body and keeps you healthy. All right, so it looks like we're wrapping up here. There's no more questions and answers or thank yous. So good, so we're gonna send you early, just a little bit early for lunch. I'm gonna put up my little screen share here, which is, let's see if I get the right one here. I don't know, I don't see it, James, oh well. That's the essay, that's Have a Great Life, that's Zoom. All right, well, let's see, nope, that's Begin, that's not it. All right, well, thank you very much. Just a reminder that you can go to Heron Books, heronbooks.com, to download this materials or download other materials. And if you have any questions, let us know at events.delphian.org and then be ready for the next webinar, which is coming. Thank you very much and have a great day.